Alright, so continuing with our rare webOS device look, I put up a video about the HP TouchPads that I had that were DVT or EVT models. This one isn't one of those, but this one is my personal touchpad. This is a 4G touchpad. You can see there it's the, there's your product number and just your standard airplane mode's on, but just your standard SIM taking 4G touchpad. This one's unlocked. Most of them were locked to AT&T. I got lucky that one's unlocked. I didn't have to do anything with it. And then someone saw that video of those touchpads and said, why would you spend all that time on those regular touchpads when you had this really cool tiny touchpad? What's the deal with that? And I thought that everybody had seen the TouchPad Go, or codename Opal, at this point in history of webOS, but I guess not. So this video is for that person, because I have two of those. This is my previously normal driver HP TouchPad Go, and you can see it's an EVT 3 model, 3rd division hardware, which is one of the earlier editions of the TouchPad Go. This is also a 3G model, 4G model, whatever you want to call it. It's got an Ericsson, just like the normal touchpad has, for essentially 3.5G or HSDPA or whatever it is, I can never remember, modem in it. And 32 gig on this model, which was most of the ones you'd find. Some of them were Wi-Fi only, some of them were 3G and Wi-Fi like this one, some of them were 32 gig, some of them were 16, some of them came with Android on them. It was really weird. It was like an Android gingerbread, version 2 dot whatever it was, models that were out there. There is a method to convert those to webOS. It's got some small touch panel issues, but I mean, it's basically just the exact same thing. The only thing that's kind of cool about it, I guess, other than the fact that it's smaller, is that on the back you've got a soft touch back, and it's not the high gloss of a normal touchpad. And then you'll notice it has a camera with a flash, which was added. In these models, you actually can take the back off really easily. It did have touchstone charging capability. That's what these little prongs are right here, and then that's where the SIM would go. You can pull this battery out with 4 screws. This is where the Ericsson card, or in the Wi-Fi only models, they had a 3G, or not 3G, but a GPS module that went in there. So you could actually really easily take this out and replace it with a Sierra MC 7700 or 7710 if you're in Europe or across the pond for us. And then you could basically have 4G or 4G LTE capability on it, which, speaking of which, actually, this model, which is my primary now, I just got this one. This one does have that card in it. It's got a Sierra MC 7700 I got off of eBay, and was able to get that set up and working properly. Nope, see, it's trying to touch to share between my, because I put it over here. If you didn't know that happened between touchpads and webOS phones, it does. Touch to share worked between not only phones and touchpads, but it also works between 2 touchpads. It also works between 2 webOS phones that have the capability, so like the Veer or the HP Pre 3. Anyway, that was a side note. So here you'll notice that this is a DVT model. So this is post the EVT series. That would be the hardware test. The DVT series was the software test after they'd kind of nailed down what they wanted the hardware to be like. So this is a later model. This one's really nice. I actually still have the box for this that came in. It's even got its prototype folds inside the box where they would have put chargers and things. Actually, there's a cable in there right now. I left it in there. That's actually still wrapped in plastic, which is kind of neat. So this is basically the same thing. What's unique about it, other than that it's a DVT model, is that it's also a 64 gig model. These are pretty rare. You don't really see these. So I'm actually pretty lucky to have this one. This one has a special doctor software installed on it. It's like a super plus build. I haven't loaded any of my apps on it yet, but for those of you who know what that is, that should give you an indication where it comes from. If you want to know, just write me privately and I'll let you know. You'll also notice that I have a screen protector on this one. You can kind of see around the camera. I also have a screen protector around this one. The guy that you can find on the webOS Nation forums by the name of Sumi, he actually makes these custom ones. This is a matte. This one's matte. You can tell the difference because it's gloss and matte. And then I have a matte protector on my primary touchpad as well. Basically the same thing on the back. This one you can actually see the sticker. So the other one doesn't have the sticker on it anymore. You see where it's got the Ericsson 3G model listed down there, which this one doesn't have it anymore, but because I took it out. But and then it says the there we go. There we go. And CPU and the memory 64 gig Samsung in there. Still prior to release model. And then if you look in here, if I can get the sticker out without breaking it, that'd be cool. There we go. So now this one's going to look different. If you rewind back in my video, you can compare this one to the other one. This is Sierra MC7700, which will give you LTE or actual 4G speeds, as opposed to just the Ericsson model, which is the 3G. And fundamentally it looks the same. So as far as the speakers, same setup as the actual touchpad. Had the stereo speaker. They're actually built into the back, so you can see that there's the grills on either side. So if you're looking at the original touchpad, they actually had them on the bottom. Ooh, you love my speaker cracks, isn't that great? Yeah, there you go. So it's got that, and then just the charging ports down at the bottom. So one of the other things that's unique about the TouchPad Go series is that while the touchpad was designed to be used in portrait mode, you see the camera at the top, the button, the center button at the bottom, and the volume button and the power button on the top right. The TouchPad Go is designed to be used more in the landscape mode, so the power button and the volume buttons are on the same orientation as if you were primarily using it. So again, if you're looking at the touchpad like this, okay, there's the buttons on the top right. If you're using the TouchPad Go like this, buttons are still on the top right. Primary center button still down at the bottom, and the camera is at the top center. So a little bit different there. So I mentioned the special doctor software I'm running on this one. There's a custom model that emulates the 4G touchpad, and that's important because it actually improves compatibility with some of the patches and things that are out there. Otherwise, there's not a lot out there for the Go specifically. So if you install that particular doctor software, if you want it, write me and I'll help you out. And it allows you to install Luna CE. Otherwise, for instance, the build that I have on here, if I installed Luna CE on this, I'd get a nice boot loop. But it works pretty well on this one. It does mess up rotation, so I just lock it. That way it doesn't jack up. But if I turned rotation lock off, you'll see it rotates that way. So that's the only problem with running the doctor software, is that it will mess up rotation. But rotating it the way you want it, and then turning rotation lock back on, did I get it? Oh, there we go. Will solve that problem. This doctor also, when you install Luna CE, will give you up swipe again. It's broken in the special doctor build without Luna CE, so that's kind of a nice thing. But there you go. Here's your quick look at the HP TouchPad Go that never was.